So which bedroom were you in there?
Here. Earl, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you your Miranda Warrants. The reason I'm reading these to you is you are in our custody. You are not under arrest.
I understand.
But you are in our custody, so we will read you your Miranda warning. Right here, you can read along with me. Got a turn for you. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that? Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Understand that? You have the right to consult with a lawyer before questioning and to have a lawyer present with you during questioning. Do you understand that? You cannot afford to hire a lawyer, and one will be appointed to represent you at public expense before or during any questioning if you so wish. Understand that? Do you understand each of these rights? Should I just read it to you? Realizing that you have these rights, are you now willing to talk with me? Well,
yeah,
can we talk? Yeah, what I need you to do is, alright, me too.
Well, you know that.
Yeah. That's right, there was 3 lefties yesterday. The guy that was with us, too.
We just,
well, it was kind of a good thing on our part because you were hiding in the house. So,
You didn't. I wasn't hiding. I was just right there, man.
Earl,
I've been around these guys too many times.
let me ask you this.
Hey, too many times.
What made you come on? Huh? What made you come on?
I just was feeling.
Can't he go back in and talk to you and say, hey, it's alright?
My kid came up there. And she knew I was up there too. And then she says, all they want to do is give me fingerprints and...
Was that one of your younger daughters?
No,
one of your younger daughters?
Yeah, one of my younger daughters.
But she got it right away. So where were you hiding? Upstairs? Behind some clothes?
Well, I was right by my pile of clothes. You seen that pile of clothes in the bedroom?
No, I stayed in the kitchen.
there were a couple of different,
There was more than just me and Jim.
There was?
there was like 6 or 7.
6 or 7 of those.
Not all of us.
I'm good.
What's the address of your home here?
6904.
6904? What's the road number?
Highway 1. Earl, you could be honest with me about stuff like that. Is this the quickest way to Aurora? Might take 147 or should I just keep going straight? Yeah, that's right. Because that brings you right into Michigan instead of going all the way around.
Okay. Thought about it after I turned, realized that's probably... You realize I'm from Calumet, and Jim's not from Manitowoc.
Where's Jim from?
Madison.
Madison area, huh? I hope you're rolling me over down in the ditch.
Stuff You got enough gas to get back here. It's looking a little low.
I would say it.
It's low fuel, I just can't. So take this road.
Yeah, take this one right down to the end, and then when you get down to the end, then you're right. And that'll bring us right past Fox Hills.
With this one, run out of gas, this one pushes.
Hey, I lost 38 pounds already since,
What's that gut one you got? You shot or something?
oh, I got burned.
What's it burn?
My dad had one.
It's a burn on my belly, on my back, and I got scars on my legs here. 7 years old, playing with gas. Wanted to start a fire, a little bonfire. I had a can, soda can, full of gas, and I ran across the road with it and splashed all over my clothes. Yeah. 3rd-degree burns. That's really. I've been there worse.
Don't like it.
Yeah, I was dead. Run me back. I think twice. Rough little childhood. Maybe not rough, painful. How many people do they got working on this?
I don't even know an exact number. A lot.
It's gotta be
A lot of people.
Gotta be hundreds of them, huh?
Well, I had a lot of troopers there yesterday.
What's the point of making like mountains?
He said they want to eliminate people from evidence. The only way to do that is to get everybody's stuff.
I hate needles too. They gave me so many of them when I was younger. When I got older, I got to hate them.
Well, I imagine.
And I'm like, I don't know, like when a doctor get a shot. In the last 6 months, I've been to the doctor to put blood sugar in 3 times now. I got a artery in my neck was partly clogged. And I got high blood pressure. I'm on about 9 different pills.
For your blood pressure or
Blood pressure, cholesterol, and then I don't know what they call it other one. It's something for to get that loosened up or whatever in my neck. I'm not sure. Then 2 weeks ago, then I got damn bronchitis and pneumonia, so I'm on medication for that. And I was on an antidepressant for couldn't smoke it. Right now,
got the X-rayed your wall?
Yeah, the X-rayed your wall.
What was that about again?
She had a massive fluids in her uterus. And it was pushing it all against everything. It was the size of a softball area inside her. We had to take her up to Appleton and get surgery on her. That was $1,800 just on a dog. But she's one of the kids, you know. But once you get attached to them, and it doesn't make a difference, does it? The road in front of our house got 2 of our chihuahuas already. Got my German Shepherd.
What happened to them?
Got hit by cars.
Okay.
I had a purebred German Shepherd. Had over $1,000 in it. And I had a woman doing about 85 miles an hour in front of my house. Took it right out, and then I had to pay for her car. That was like $2,800 or something for the damages on her bumper and that. Plus I had to bury my dog.
Earlier trying to reach you, but you were out. Okay.
something new for a change.
Yeah.
And out of shits and giggles, I thought I'd call the bank and see what I could do. See if I could take a loan home. God damn it, they said yes. But it's tough.
But either way,
You know, it's 30 days, you know, but it comes fast.
Oh, yeah. Stand out to it, shouldn't it?
And it does.
Okay. Well, next week we get in-service money Tuesday, but during the evening I'm available after, like, say, 5. And probably on Tuesday I'm probably available even earlier than that, because I'll probably cut off mid-afternoon so that the people from other offices can get home. So I'm guessing that that plus well, that's not much of a difference. What's that? Yeah, I think coming up. Okay, well, I'd be available next week. Okay. But just get back in touch with me and let me know what works for you then. Not this week, but maybe the next week.
How long would you guys have a hold on my daughter's got?
Hey, good job, Joe. Good work on that now.
A couple of years or what?
I'll check with my boss. Have a good night, buddy. Bye-bye.
But this one ain't on hunting. My hunting one is in my backseat of the car. My shot.
No, what do you got for a hunting gun?
30 on 6. Marksman. 300 yards right in the neck.
Yeah, scope on.
Oh, yeah. Never can get a big buck.
Where do you usually go hunting? Where do you usually go hunting?
I'm looking right there. Double-decker tree stand there. I sit on the top. My daughter and my wife takes turns every other year. Then they sit on the bottom. This year's my wife's turn.
You got a lot of land up there in Crivets? How much land do you got up there in Crivets?
Straight. You can't do it right now.
No, you'll be taking it.
After the gray one. I got one of these in the yard. I could use another one otherwise, but not on my side.
No, I don't need that to happen.
Back there?
No.
Oh, okay. Our yard, didn't you?
Yeah.
I picked up at least 90% of them. I'm more 1 one truck out already. Drove that one for, since '89, I drove it all the way up until 2004, I think. Yeah, that one had a lot of miles on it. I don't know what my problem was. I went to 3 motors.
Who was that girl that was standing next to the car? His wife. Well, we were all standing there together.
The one that came looking for the driver.
In the van.
Carla? That's Chuck's daughter.
Okay. She said she was gonna meet us at the hospital. She could probably give me a ride back home.
Well, we could have brought our own. Set up just like a squad car?
Yeah. Doesn't have the cage, you know, between the back seats.
This is just a regular car. It's like a big motor.
No, I don't think this does.
I bought one of these about a month ago. Took a guardrail, took the whole side of it, front wheel, dash, everything. Took the guy out there. The guy's head off or something with the guardrail. They had to cut him out of the car. Yeah. Some of them wrecks, you'd be surprised. Sometimes you live out of them, sometimes you don't. I don't know where the safety is anymore.
There ain't no safety in this damn thing.
It's all plastic. You get a hard time cutting, like you got the front end off or something. Wrong motor, then that. You got a hard time cutting with a torch, with all the plastic. Burns up. Yeah, I had to, he was over by me last night. He came back from the Lord or whatever. God damn, he had channel 26 there. Took me right out to the driving house. Couldn't have it anymore. Get the hell out of here.
I bet.
I just get so frustrated. Go to the store, people are looking at me funny. I went up during the last weekend, I went up to Green Bay to the mall to wear some sweatshirts with my kids. My daughter's wearing a sweatshirt from school, you know. We got Avery across the back. Oh, guys, you should have seen me. I made her turn it inside out. Enough for that.
Yeah, Jim.
I know they
Art.
had indicated I got a phone contact ER. I say we just go right
ER?
to ER. We'll be able to do this. Where's Kevin?
I had a couple bad experiences with policemen, everything else in my younger days. And I just get scared. I'm trying to live a normal life now. And I got it pretty well situated down there.
What's I think he's yelling for somebody else.
Is your name Bobby? I thought I heard Bobby.
Yeah, I think he was yelling for Bobby.
Oh, maybe over there?
That is that.
These guys you hunt too or no?
Yeah,
No?
do some hunting by my land.
Up there. No, ain't that where they got that security or is that farther?
Yeah, they got that in our county.
Yeah. So then what, actually what you guys gotta do is just make sure everybody's here and gets the blood and
Right.
you see it done and this and that. That's what you gotta do.
Yep. After that, hopefully somebody will be around here and they can just drive that back. Everybody all at once.
Just us?
Yeah.
I mean, just like the Averys or?
I think it's everybody that lives there, so we can use that as elimination. You know what I mean? I'll let them out. Yeah, that's actually good.
Was that Bobby that just went walking in the hospital there? A little while ago?
You were hollering at somebody, weren't
Yeah,
you?
Bobby.
I thought it was
The
Bobby.
other guys over there thought it was Bobby and they wanted him to stop.
Okay. Let's get it. Remember when I read you your Miranda rights? Okay. Remember that? Everything's still okay with that? We're still going to talk? Because now we're going to go through some questions about stuff.
Depends on the question, I guess.
Alright, well that's good. What can you tell us about that crusher in your yard?
The crusher?
Uh-huh.
It's not ours.
Who owns it?
More of the salvage.
Okay. Now who does the crushing in the cars in your yard?
Huh?
Who crushes the cars with that crusher?
Paul Norb was crushing cars.
Paul Norb?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
That's his last name?
Yeah.
Paul Norb?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he always crush the cars or do other people crush the cars?
No, I did some down there. I crushed some cars down there.
How many cars do you crush in a week?
You know what?
How many cars did you crush?
I crushed the one where we had down there.
How many was that?
I don't even know. 3 truckloads.
3 truckloads of cars. So approximately how many cars?
There's 20 cars on a truckload.
Does anybody else crush cars besides you and Paul?
Steve crushed that one that was in the crusher. There was a Jeep, I think, in the crusher.
He crushed that one.
Yeah.
Did he crush any other cars?
I don't know. He might have crushed 1 or 2 in between, but I don't know if he did or not. I'm not sure.
Is that normal for Steve to crush cars, or is that your job?
No, it's not really my job. I hate it.
You don't like crushing cars?
No. It gets boring. It gets boring. You know.
The guy that crushes the car, is he responsible for taking out the motor and all that, and getting it prepping it? Or does somebody else do that?
No, it depends. Depends on the car or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes we just drain fluids and that, and then it goes in too, with the motor.
So sometimes you don't take out anything out of the car, you just put the car in the crusher and take out the fluids, you're saying?
Yeah.
And then just let it
Freon
crush.
or whatever, yeah.
Okay.
And tires.
Anybody else besides Paul, you, and Steve that would crush vehicles?
Not that I know. I don't think so. Well, it sits down in the pit, 5 o'clock, I go home. I don't know. So I don't know.
You keep a log on which cars you crush?
No,
Aren't you supposed to?
I don't know. We don't know. And in my department, I think I don't know. I think we keep track of how many we get rid of. And then we eliminate them. See, these are all older ones. You don't have to do nothing with these yet. With serial numbers and that, and delete them and that.
Okay.
So we don't got none of that hassle. But we do take a number, I think, we got all the paperwork and everything when they go to wherever we send them.
So you document them when? When does the documentation and you crush the car occur?
And it goes over the scale, gets weighed, and then it goes. I think we go by according to the lowest. I don't know.
Somebody told me you were the guy that crushes the cars mainly. Is that accurate?
What do you mean?
That you basically run the car crusher.
Well, I did on them last ones. I did on the piles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would be familiar with.
I don't know.
You'd be familiar with crushing the cars, how to do it, and stuff like that. Is that right?
Well, how to do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Do you leave that?
Mostly it's just a push button. And it's a remote.
Do you ever leave a car in the crusher and just leave it down? The thing on it?
No.
That's not normal. You wouldn't do that?
No, I usually don't leave them in the crusher. I usually take them. Well, I usually finish a bundle, or otherwise is what you call it. Sometimes there's 3 in a bundle, sometimes there's 4 in a bundle, sometimes there's 5 in a bundle. It depends on the size of the vehicle. If it's a small compact car, or if it's mid-size, or if it's full-size. Depends on how it goes in the trailer.
So there's not any good reason to leave the arm down when the car's in there. Does that wreck the crusher? Did you leave the bar down on it? Did you leave that thing down on it?
No, no, don't wreck the crusher.
I don't understand. I'm sorry to interrupt. You said sometimes 3, 4, maybe 5. What do you mean by that?
Bundle.
Cars? Bundles of what? Bundles of what?
Just make it 2 right away.
Bundles of cars.
Yeah, they crush it at one time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. In a full size, then you take them out. You know what I mean?
I see.
And then other ways you crush 4.
So you're talking by, when you say bundle of 3 cars that have been crushed stacked on top of one another.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Crush
sorry.
them all at once.
I didn't understand what that meant.
Where do these cars, before they go in the crusher, where do you put them? Is there a madness method to you seem pretty organized, like you usually have transmissions in one spot. You got something over here, you got crushed cars in a different spot of the lot. Okay. So if you have cars that are waiting to be crushed, where are they
They
usually
usually go into to our new building there. Our new tear-down building, the blue one.
The blue building? It's going in there? Walk me through the process of when a car comes in.
Huh?
Walk me through how that
It sits over on the side,
car comes in, who takes, and
then if there's freon in it or something, it gets marked, a guy comes out, and when we get a couple of them together, if we get like 10 cars with freon in it, a guy comes out and drains the freon out of them. They don't go nowhere unless the freon's taken out.
okay, so they sit in the blue shed or up
No,
top?
they sit right outside. Right outside up on the top there.
Okay.
Next to the fence.
That fenced in area?
Yep.
They would sit up there. When do they go down to the pit?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on if they get crushed or not. A lot of them don't. You know, a lot of them just go into the garage and get the, well, if they got good motors, then we don't drain no oil. And a lot of them, we pull the motors otherwise.
Okay. But cars that are going to be crushed,
Crushed, they get set on the, they get checked for freon. If you don't have no freon in it, then they get set on the top, on the other side of the cars that we're gonna keep.
and where is that? Kind of describe that.
Oh, right up on the top, right left to the hill going down into the pit.
The cars down by the pit, are those cars that are going to be crushed if they're down by the pit? Or you drive them all the way from the top down?
On the top, on the top.
You got to just explain to me a little bit better about
They're not
on
on
the top. What does that mean? What is on the top?
That means that they're only on the, when you pull in, you got the good cars next to the fence, and then there's a roadway going down in the pit, and then there's another piece to the south of that, on the top yet, where there's ground and everything, where it ain't a gravel pit.
Right.
That's where them cars go if there's nothing left to them. Them are for the crusher. Then, from there, then they go into the the blue building. And get dismantled.
So, I'm just going to say one more way, maybe a different way, because I'm not really getting it. I'm not understanding it clearly. Okay. Do you put cars next to the car crusher when they need to be crushed? Yes or no?
Well, I guess
So you just stack up the cars or drive them down there, and then
with the loader,
how do you determine when you're going to crush it?
Huh?
How do you determine when you're going to crush it?
We usually don't crush. Just that this crusher was here, and we got rid of like 100 or 125 of them about a month and a half ago, and he never came and got his crusher. So, and he told us, he actually told me, if I wanted to use it, I could, and put some on the side for later or whatever.
You put some cars on the side for
Yeah,
later?
but-
What cars on the side did you put for later?
Them are the ones that's crushed. Them are for later.
Okay.
So, otherwise, so Paul can come in, we can just load them up, and he can be
I'm
gone.
talking about cars prior to being crushed. Where would those go? You got to set them down by the crusher someplace. Where would the cars be?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of cars by that line of, there's like a wood line, and there's a bunch of cars lined up right down there. South of the crusher.
Them ain't crusher cars.
Those aren't crusher cars?
There ain't no crushing cars down there except for the ones being crushed.
Tell me about Friday. There was two guys that came down, Krieger and I guess my notes, we didn't know that, but Krieger and a Mott. They came to see you Friday morning. What did they want?
Joe? And
Joe Mott
David.
and Dave Krieger
Chief.
came to see you Friday morning.
Where was I? I don't
You were
remember.
there at work.
I don't remember.
They wanted something out of the yard or something.
Oh, for his front hub? I think so. I'm not sure what I was doing. I might have been working on the top there.
Did you talk to him?
I don't know if I did or not. I seen him.
You seen him
I
Friday
seen him there.
morning?
Yeah, I think so.
Who were they talking to
Where was
if
I?
they weren't talking to you?
They were talking to Steve or Chuck, I think. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was picking cars up.
Okay.
I was picking junkers up from another place of business, junkers. And I was in the loader, and they came in, and he pointed, back. Well, I got a couple vehicles like his in the back corner, like down by Barb.
Okay.
And then they went back there. Him and David went back. He just pointed. I knew what he meant. He was gonna go check on that park or whatever, because I didn't get a chance to get it off or anything. So yeah, they went back there.
What guy? Where?
Back on the top, by Barb.
Okay.
In our fenced-in area up back for the vehicles, in the last row there. That's where the vehicles are, like his.
Okay. And they went to get a what?
I think it was a front hub for four-wheel drive. It's just a piece of aluminum that slips over the axle when before the tire goes on.
And they were just walking back there by themselves?
Oh,
or
they
Steve was
drove
with them?
back there.
Where was your other brothers when they were drove
I
back?
think they were up in the garage.
Were they helping them out?
Huh?
Were they helping them out?
No, I don't think so.
So they just did that
I think
by
I seen
themselves?
Chuck out there. He talked to him first, and then he just made a circle, and then Chuck walked back into the blue building.
And where was Steve?
And I think he was in the blue building.
What were they doing?
I wasn't there. I was moving cars from Mishpah Auto. I had 6 of them to pick up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I would bring them in, unload them with the loader, set them there, and then leave again. And then I didn't see them guys after that because I left right away again. And then when I got back the next time, I think they were gone.
This is by the fenced-in area. There's a car in there. They were interested in getting a hub off of?
Yeah.
Or not down, you said down by bars, but not actually all the way down by bars.
Right next to her fence, right, down by bar.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a fence that goes all the way
There's a
down.
high fence, and then there's just that
Low
kind of
fence?
outside,
Yeah, inside of that low fence.
inside of the low fence.
Okay.
You want some more water?
Yeah, that's like.
Yeah, go ahead. You know how to work it? Yep, just put it right there. Yeah, a little center in front. Weird for myself.
Weird.
Obviously, we're looking into all aspects of the death of Teresa Hallbach, okay? And her vehicle being found in your yard, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
I
a shame
understand.
that, everybody takes it personal, but you think about if that was your kid that was murdered,
Yeah.
You'd want us to do everything possible
Right. Right.
to ask everything about what happened there.
Right.
Take us through the time. Has anybody told you anything about that, Earl?
No.
Do you know anything about it that you haven't told any other investigators?
No. It's a puzzling thing to me because me and my brother-in-law, we were rabbit hunting Wednesday night. We stole my mom's golf cart out of her garage. we walked the cop, and then we got the golf cart, and then we drove down in the pit. He wanted to know if there was anything down in the pit. I said, I haven't seen a rabbit down there, but instead of walking, I said, well, let's take the golf cart. So then we just took the golf cart down there, and we drove right through that same spot where that vehicle was sitting Wednesday night, and it wasn't there. That's what it's really...
Brother. Or is that?
No, brother-in-law.
Your brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law, yeah.
Who was that?
That was Robert.
Robert. So you drove right where that car was.
Yeah.
You're talking, Teresa disappeared on Monday. You're talking that Wednesday?
That vehicle was not there.
Your vehicle wasn't there.
No. Maybe I shouldn't be talking to these guys, because I'm not really supposed to be talking.
Well, like I said, we're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I know, but maybe I'm not supposed to be talking to you. Steve's
But
wife
what
told
should
me not
tell
to
us?
say anything.
To me, that seems suspicious why somebody would
Yeah, I
not
know.
talk to us. You know, people that don't want to talk to us are guilty of something. Just like somebody hiding in their house. I mean,
Yeah, don't call me Steve. Okay?
yeah,
Steve.
sorry about that. Hey, do you have a key to Steve's house?
No, I don't.
Okay. Does Steve normally lock his house up?
Yes,
It's always locked.
I think it is, yes.
Who else has a key to his house?
Rolly, maybe. The guy that owns his house. That, and him, I think.
And he always locks it down.
I think so.
Why does Steve burn tires in his backyard?
I don't... You already asked me that, no.
No, it's the first time I asked you that.
No, you asked me that twice. Should we rewind it? You asked me if he burns tires. I said, I don't go down by him. I don't know.
That's a different question. I ask you why he does that.
I don't know if he burns tires. How am I supposed to answer that?
Well, why would you burn tires? You're the mechanic type guy who runs a shop.
I don't know why you burn tires.
Why do you burn tires?
I put them down in a pile and I get a semi in there when I get enough and then they go. And a lot of times when I got a big pile of tires here with rims on, then the guy takes the empty tires for the price of the rims that's on the other tires, so it don't cost us nothing.
So it's just a question to you.
That was my answer.
I mean,
Yeah.
so why is Steve burning them? If generally you don't
I
burn.
don't know.
Generally you take the tires, you put them on a truck, get them out of here. All right. But a bunch of tires burning.
If he
Why was that?
burning some tires, maybe he had some on like him. I don't know.
But you've never seen him burn tires.
No. No.
How many years? You used to live there?
Huh?
You used to live on that salvage yard?
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how long has Steve been there?
2 years. Since he got out of prison.
Okay. So since he's been out of prison, you've never seen him burn tires?
No.
Chuck's never burned tires?
No. Mm-hmm.
Earl,
I cut wood.
you cut a tire?
I cut wood.
You cut wood. Mm-hmm. Earl, look at me, Earl. Okay? You obviously know more than what you want to tell us. Okay?
No, I don't.
It's real apparent. Yes, it is. There's
No,
more there. You don't want to tell us. I understand why you don't.
No, I don't know.
How do you know what we're looking for exactly?
That's right.
Right. So you need to just kind of talk about what you know. It may be important. It may not be important. But the thing is, you know more than you're telling us.
Well, you're asking me if he burns tires, and I tell you I don't know if he burns tires.
Let's go back. The reason I ask that is let's talk about conversations you've had with your family since the vehicle's been found.
Yeah.
in the yard.
Everybody don't understand it being there. Everybody thinks that he's being framed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you want me to
He's
do?
telling you not to talk because...
No, his lawyer told me not to talk. Because it's a setup.
But he was at your house yesterday.
Huh?
You're gonna have conversation with him. If this happened to me and my
Yes,
family, I'd have a ton of conversation. And there would be a lot of conversation talk. In fact, that's consumed your life, has it not?
But
I mean,
it
it's...
wasn't...
Just listen to me for a second. It's consumed your life, right? This is all you think about 24/7?
Huh?
This is all you've been able to think about ever since this vehicle's been in the yard? This has
Yes.
been it, right?
Yes.
And
But then they...
so there's been a lot of conversation.
maybe between them guys, but not with me.
There's been conversation between the family.
Not maybe with them guys, but not me, because I don't like getting involved in it. That's what I told you before, way earlier, even like with the media by me. It drives me nuts. Last night, Chuck and Steve was by my house, and they all wanted to watch the news. I went out to my garage. I was done with that. I don't want to hear it no more.
So you have no idea what happened to him?
No, I do not know what happened to her.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing a favor with
You haven't
people.
been told by anybody what happened to him?
I haven't got told by nobody what happened to her. I never even met the girl. I didn't even know what she looked like until I seen her picture on the TV when they announced her missing. That's the first time I seen her.
Earl, there's more there. Okay. It's been over a week.
Yeah.
Steve's been calling the media to your house, which means he's been in your house.
Well,
And
but he was there.
he's quick to make sure that Barbara doesn't do anything without his knowledge. You know what I mean? Or talk to anybody. He's quick to tell everybody.
Whenever they do this and do that, they're always together, him and Barbara, so I don't know what goes on.
But if he's at your house and you're at your house, you can't go to the yard. There's no other place for you guys to go. Okay? You're sitting in the kitchen
Oh,
drinking
yeah.
coffee. What do you think you're talking
There's
about?
a lot of places.
You're talking about this incident in your salvage yard, and you're talking about everything there is about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
So you know more than what you're trying to tell us
All
right
they
now.
talk
You can't
about-
play that, I don't know, I've never talked to Steve.
All they
No,
talk
you
about
talked
is
to
lawsuits and suing and being set up and set up and set up. And I'm sick of hearing everything. Nothing makes any damn sense. So I just stay out of it.
If Steve was going to confide in somebody he doesn't talk to privately, who does he talk to?
I haven't seen him for 18 years.
That's not what I asked. I said, who does he talk to?
Huh?
Who would he talk to? Does he talk to his girlfriend? She's in jail.
She's in jail.
He's got a hard time right now. There's a lot of media attention focused on him.
Mm-hmm.
Who's he going to talk to?
I don't know.
He doesn't confide in you? He's not going to confide in his own flesh and blood.
He didn't talk to me. I mean, I don't know, he never did. Never does. We go to the auction like on Thursdays, and we act like used to. You know, like professional people, we just go in and do our job, buying some cars and coming back home. Stop and eat breakfast, stop and eat dinner on the way back home. That's how much time I spend with him. Mostly on Thursdays.
But there's more there. 'Cause when I first asked you that question, you gave me a huge pause. You were holding back something. And that's what I want to know.
Well, pause a lot.
Well, I do this for a living, and when I see that, I know that there's more, somebody's unsure. Like you said yourself, the Calumet Sheriff's Department's one of the nicest guys from Calumet Sheriff's Department has been the nicest guys
Yeah,
they've been. So that's what I want to know. If there's something holding, I would like you to tell me. I mean, there's something there in your head that went, I don't know if I, and then you started saying, well, I don't know if I should talk to you.
no,
Maybe I shouldn't talk to you, because that kind of, that adds the pause, and not only that, it adds, I don't know if I should talk to you, that means there's something there, and you know I'm right.
I'm done.
I know I'm right.
I'm done. Are we done?
You're done with what?
I'm done talking.
Well, Earl, can I?
I'm done.
Well, I understand that, and I respect that. I guess we could take it around here shortly before we change it, but I think what's really important here is that we focus on the issue of Teresa Halbach, her mother and father, and the rest of her family, and we try to sympathize and understand what they're going through right now.
I understand.
And I know you do. We talked about that earlier. That is what's on the wall right now. That's it. That's all. Okay. And something that is important for you to understand, and what is trying to be conveyed to you here, is that we have a very, very, very good idea of what happened. Okay. We've been out there all week, obviously. Hundreds of cops.
Right.
And unbeknownst to you right now, Stephen was picked up earlier, right?
Right.
Well, he's not going to be coming back tonight.
No?
No. He's not coming back tonight.
But I mean, with all the puzzle pieces and everything.
But hear me out.
Hear 'em all.
And this is really important. Your brother Stephen is not coming back tonight. Anywhere. He's not coming back. And there's a very distinct reason why.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into details. I think you understand.
I understand why.
I think you understand why he's not going to be coming back tonight. What were we just talking about a moment ago?
There's something to do with Teresa then.
He is not coming back tonight. And your brother has some issues. Whether he has confided in you, or Chuck, or anybody else, friends of his, other
He
people.
acts normal around me. I ain't understanding this.
But what you're trying to do is, and we see this.
And I like working with him during the day. If we gotta pull a transmission out or something in the garage, I like working with him.
We see this all the time. He's your brother.
Yeah.
We have brothers too. We know what it's like to have a brother.
I'm not that close with him.
And you know what? I know that. But you know what? Blood is thicker than water. And under
There's a lot of things going through my mind when I found out that vehicle was down in that pit.
What were you thinking about? What was going through your mind?
Who did it? Did Steve did it? Did Chuck do it?
I mean, can we honestly say between us, man to man, can we honestly acknowledge man to man here that there was a fleeting moment when you became aware that that vehicle was down there, that you thought, is Steve somehow involved in this?
I just told you that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm bringing that up, but I'm building a foundation here because I want to take the next step up and explain something else to you.
You don't know.
Like we talked about, he's not coming back tonight. And something that is very important for you to understand is that Stephen, obviously he's been acting peculiar this last whole week with the media, with trying to convince everybody that he's being set up and that this is a frame job. I'm here to tell you, that is ludicrous, okay? I'm not from Manitowoc County.
He's not from Manitowoc County. All right? I didn't know you before today. I didn't even know your name.
Right.
Okay? So there is no possible way in God's green earth that the situation involving Teresa Halbach is a setup. All right? If I even sensed this much of a possibility of something like that happening, I'd be all over everybody else that I'm working with. Because we as cops, we work for the good people of the state of Wisconsin. We don't tolerate bad cops. If there's something bad going on, it makes us all look bad. And I'm not denying the fact that there are people in our line of work that have done bad things, but I'll tell you what, as soon as another cop finds out about it, they bring it to the attention of their supervisor, and that person is dealt with accordingly.
Well, you guys must have heard about that. But that was the last time that I talked to Steve, was that issue about a cop doing this.
Well, I understand what he's telling you, but what he's telling you is absurd.
But he's telling me...
I'm here to tell you...
He's telling you guys that.
Yeah, he's telling us that. He's trying to convince everybody, including you and the rest of your family, that this is a setup. You said yourself that he's over there talking lawsuits and setup, and you're tired of it. That's why you go out to the barn. But hear me out. It is so unbelievable to consider the fact that somebody would go to this extreme to try and set up Stephen Avery, to take the enormous risk of sticking a car out on private property and...
But who's the stupid one? I mean, okay, put it this way, if it was Steve, why would he be so stupid to put it on his own mother's property?
But I know you have lots of questions. The things I'm talking about here, I'm building towards a conclusion. Allow me to get there, okay? Just hear me out, and if you don't agree, that's fine. Stephen has been saying things to the cops for the last several days. All right? Just like you've been talking about. He has been giving information that is just so inconsistent and so unbelievable that do you realize that he is actually trying to implicate his nephew as being the last person that would have seen Teresa Halbach, not himself?
Which one of his nephews?
Well, that isn't really relevant right now. But what is relevant is that he is trying to lay blame with another family member for Teresa's disappearance. Okay?
Yeah.
That is a very, very interesting fact. All right. You as his brother ought to be sensing that something is just terribly rotten to the core right now. All right?
But I was sensing the same thing. You know, if you're talking about, I was thinking about everything, you know. I was thinking about, like, Barbara's kids, like Bobby, like Brian. You know, the guy don't know him that
Let me tell you, let me go down this road, and maybe then you're going to start to see how we see things. All right? We understand how you see things. We've done a lot of research on you. We spent basically the entire morning
Wonderful.
learning about you, talking about you. All right? And many other people have spent the last several days and weeks doing the same thing. All right?
Did I turn out to be a good guy or a bad guy?
Well, that isn't relevant. The relevant issue here is that we've done some background. And some of the things that have come to the surface here are the fact that, you know, we're under the impression that nobody else is supposed to be crushing cars out there but this Paul fellow. All right? Nobody else. Whether or not you want to tell us he gave permission, he is the one with a license. He is the one with DNR permission. He is the one with... He is the one with legal authority who owns that unit to do the crushing. Not you, not anybody else. All right? And the fact that you've been doing that out there with 54 cars, plus the one that's in the crusher, whether it was Steve that did it or you, the fact that you are a co-owner of that business means it's on you. Okay? Do you realize that illegally crushing 55 cars might have an impact on you personally as far as civil liability
I don't
and
know.
potentially coming back on you because people are doing things that they're not supposed to be doing?
Well, I didn't know there was such a law out there.
Did you realize that it's also illegal to be burning tires?
Well, I knew
Unless you're an official
that was
recycling?
illegal, yeah.
It's going on routinely at your yard. And I saw evidence everywhere out there to prove it.
Well,
Yes. So what I'm trying to drive at here is that
not over by the salvage yard, you know.
point being, it's going on
Right,
at the business. And you're a co-owner of that business, correct?
right. But that,
Okay, that's enough said right there.
That out
That in
there-
and of itself,
that is not our
Paul, or excuse me, Earl, the point I'm trying to make though is that there are things going on out there, as I would imagine with most salvage yards, if you want to cut to the chase, that are clearly skirting on the fringe. All right? So I think you're a nice guy. I think you're a good guy. But the bottom line is, you and I both know that there's things going on out there that aren't legal.
Yeah, but we're
All right?
trying.
But that ain't, I don't give it, I don't, trying, schmying, whatever. Trying,
Well, that's why we put the whole building up.
but
That's not our main focus.
our main focus here though is that people that have a tendency to try, even though they know that they're trying illegally, have tendencies to do other things. Typically, a person that doesn't have a care or concern for any part of the law where it relates to minimal things, and they'll just routinely, without any care or concern, violate laws that pertain to crushing vehicles and tires being burned, isn't going to give a damn about violating other laws. All right? And you got to understand, there is a distinct reason why we want you to assist us right now. Because don't think for a minute that when push comes to shove, when your brother Stephen is being questioned about certain things that took place and that he's responsible for, that he might not try to put the dime back on you or Chuck or his nephews or the other women. That's the kind of person he is. You and I both know it. What happened when he went away last time? What did he say that he was going to do to everybody else in the family last time?
When was the last time?
When he got put away 18, 20 years ago. Has the family discussed that with you? Were you old enough to comprehend the things that he said and did once he was put in prison?
13 or 14.
Well, it's probably a good thing that you didn't hear what he said. People act differently when they're taken into custody. Plain and simple.
I'm in custody.
You're,
Yeah,
technically right now,
technically you are, I guess, Dave.
the point being, we're not interested in you. All right? But the only way you're going to get in trouble with us is by lying to us and by minimizing information. Omission is lying. Withholding is lying. Lying is obstructing.
Right.
You are a good business owner, okay?
But you're telling me that when I was crushing cars, I was doing it legally, and I didn't know.
Did you have permission to be doing that?
Yeah,
From who?
from Paul.
Paul says he didn't give any
Paul said,
permission
yeah.
in the yard.
He didn't give no permission.
So
And
Paul
you, 54 cars
That's
plus
correct.
one in the crusher. You want to know something else? That's just the least of your concerns. Burning illegally several tires? My God, the environmental folks are going to really be interested in that if it becomes an issue. And you want to know what? I bet there's a number of other violations out there as well. And you know what? You and your brother Chuck own that business.
I know.
Plain and simple. And when you're a businessman, you have to obey the laws. And ignorance is no excuse for not obeying the law. If you don't know the law, you shouldn't be in business. And you want to know what? I'm not here to harp on you about that. All I'm trying to say is that don't make it seem like there's nothing going on and that you don't know anything. You guys talk about this stuff. Don't tell me for a minute that you guys aren't consciously aware of the things that you're skirting around and looking over your shoulder to see who's there.
That there hasn't even been conversation between other family members, maybe you and somebody else, about Steve and the possibility that it's crossed their mind too.
I mean, give us a little bit of credit. There's a reason why you went upstairs and hid. There's a reason why your mom, I'm not getting on
I
your
was
butt.
scared.
Why?
Did not want us to find you.
And you want to know why that is? Because you're scared for a distinct reason that you will refuse to talk about right now. And that is obstruction.
No, I won't.
That is obstruction.
I will talk to you. I told you I would talk to you.
Tell me right now what it is you're scared of then. You haven't certainly discussed it yet.
I'm scared of going to jail for nothing. I'm scared of,
Wrong.
huh?
Wrong.
Yeah, I've been there.
Come on, pal. People don't go to jail for having done nothing. All
But I always
right. This
went-
is
I always went to jail
2005.
drunk and I didn't know any better.
Earl. It's 2005 here.
I know.
People don't go to jail for doing nothing. Just like this whole cockamamie theory of this whole thing with Steve being a setup and a frame job is about as ludicrous as aliens coming to land on our planet tonight and take over. It's just, it's unbelievable. It's just, it's crazy.
I know.
You realize the amount of effort and how complicated it would be for a person or a group of persons to try and set up some kind of bizarre frame job like this? It's just unbelievable. It's ludicrous.
No.
You can think what you want, but the fact of the matter is she was last seen with your brother Steve, and guess what? Now she's gone. And so her car is parked basically a stone's throw from your office.
I was thinking of the same thing.
What do you think happened to her?
I don't know what happened.
Do you think it's something good?
Huh?
Do you think it's something good that happened to
I
her?
don't know. And then I hear people talking that, I mean, she just stashed her vehicle there and she took off somewhere.
That's absurd. That is just crazy.
Yeah.
Don't even try to convince us that you think that that's a possibility.
No, that's what I heard people talking about.
We're asking you about what you have heard or know. You know what I mean? We're not asking about what the rumors have been that have been coming on.
I'm
You know what I
sorry, the
mean?
only place we have
Go right
is
ahead.
sheep.
Whatever you need, just come on back. Appreciate being able to use the room.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, you gotta understand.
I don't know why I even ever got into this.
Well, what you gotta understand is, you look back at your life, okay? There's been some things, now that you're older, you look back at when you were younger, and it
all over the place.
was a messed up situation that you were born and raised in, okay? We're aware of some of that stuff, all right?
But I mean,
Just hear me out, okay? But that was not only you, that was your other brothers and your sister, okay? That was your whole family, right? And that's not your fault, and that's not even your brother's fault or your sister's fault for being raised in an environment like that, okay? You were born into that. You had to grow up through it. Now that you're older, you realize that wasn't a good environment to bring up, okay? And maybe you came out okay through that environment, all right? I don't know how well your brothers came out through that environment, all right? But there was things there, things that happened, okay, that messes with the person's head, okay? There's not explaining everything about what a guy thinks or does, but there's stuff there that disturbed Stephen, okay? Disturbed Chuck and disturbed you, and disturbed Barbara, certainly. Now that you guys are older, you've changed your life, okay? You've moved on with your family, okay? You've learned from stuff in the past, and that realized that wasn't right, okay?
Worked hard.
Don't make the same mistake twice, right? Is that a lesson you've learned? Don't make the same mistake twice, okay? if there's something that you know, like I said, Steve is not coming back tonight. Okay?
Actually, I don't really care if he comes back or not. If he did it, he did it. But I don't know if he did it or not. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys, okay?
Would it surprise
I
you?
try to keep.
We hear you. We hear you. Would it surprise you if he did?
No.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Well,
Now we're having an honest conversation.
we were having an honest conversation. Well, you thought I was lying.
Well, the thing is, we never said you were lying. We said you were holding back. Just felt like you were holding back. Now we're opening up the conversation. You know?
I'm here to tell you that the reason that Teresa disappeared is your brother Steve.
You got evidence of that?
I'm telling you, the reason Teresa disappeared is because of your brother Steven. Evidence, facts, everything else is going to speak for itself in due time. We would not be here right now.
You know,
Regardless.
before I can see it, you know, I gotta see it.
I'll tell you what. I'm from Madison. I have no vested interest in this case whatsoever. I'm not the case agent. I'm not a family member. I don't know you. I don't know anybody in your family.
Nor never see you again in my life.
More than likely. I'm here to tell you that the reason Teresa is gone is because of your brother Stephen. Plain and simple. All right? Now comes the hard part. Tying up the loose ends. Don't think for a minute that this isn't going to blow over like the worst storm you've ever seen in your family's history. Because that's what's about to happen. You think the media has been a problem? Listen to me, look at me, Earl. You think the media has been a problem the last week? Wait till you get home tonight. Alright? This is just the beginning. This is a horrible, horrible situation that has gone on out here. And you know what?
And what about the innocent and like my wife and my kids and me? We gotta put up with it?
You don't have to put up
I
with
got a separate family.
Here's the thing.
I don't want to put up.
Here's the thing. Where was Stephen last night?
Over by, he went to Two Rivers, I think.
And he was at your house, wasn't he? You said earlier that he was at your home watching the news last night
Yeah.
with Chuck.
Yeah, and then he left with Chuck.
So,
They went to Two Rivers, I think, and then they went to his ex-wife.
on one hand, you want us to believe that he never talks to you about anything, that he never confides in you about anything, that you hardly ever do anything together even when you're working. It's just Thursday auctions and dinner before or after. Right? But I'm here to tell you that I don't believe you because, on the other hand, you're telling me that just last night he's over at your home watching the news with your other brother.
Well, that's because he didn't have got no place to go. But otherwise, he don't come over by me. Him and my wife don't get along.
Don't you normally have like a Monday night meal at your mom's? Isn't that a tradition with the other brothers? Is it?
No.
And maybe I've been misinformed. Isn't that a tradition with you and your brothers going over to your mother's? No?
I mean, sometimes during the week if my wife don't have to work or something, you know, and Kayla sometimes comes over and washes windows for us in the shop and that. And Kathy's got to go to Michigan.
Would you, this is an important question.
No, there ain't no...
Would you, as your brother Stephen's youngest brother, you have 3 girls, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Would you trust...
I have problems with them.
Would you trust Stephen to be alone at his home with any of your girls?
Why would you?
Why not?
Because I told you I've been there already with him.
Been there. Go into detail. What do you mean by been there? What does that mean?
I've been there with him.
What has he done?
When my oldest daughter, he had pictures up north with her with all black magic marker all over her. But
What did he do to him?
huh?
What did he do to him?
That was about that. That's all I got out of anybody.
What, you're avoiding talking about the hard words. What did he do to them? Start at the beginning and explain to me what he did that is...
Just that I had incidents with him, with my kids.
What did he do?
Huh?
Specifically, what did he do to your kids?
Just the way he talks to them and that.
How does he talk to them?
Oh, sometimes he talked, when he first got out, sometimes he used to talk dirty in front of them or dirty to them.
Using what words? What would he say specifically?
I remember.
Now you're...
What were the words? You can talk about those words. I know it's
I understand
disturbing and you don't want to say it because
No,
it's
I
tricky words to
talk
say.
about it.
We're all adults here.
Right, but I don't know.
Something made you uncomfortable with those conversations and your kids.
But it was a while ago now again.
Well, on one hand, you can remember...
I remember.
You remember words
Oh, I
like
don't
that.
forget the pictures that I've seen and
Right. And the thing is, with stuff like that, it's there. And we're not asking you for, we're asking, if you don't know something, you don't know something. But
I'm trying to tell you, please get on with my family. I don't know nothing if Steve did this murder, if she's dead. I don't know.
But I think it's important that we get out just what's happened in the past.
If he did do
with your
murder,
daughter, stuff like that. And then there was some pictures. But you're saying, like, even when he first got out, he's sitting on your lap. I mean, the kids are on him. You're
I was
uncomfortable.
always uncomfortable.
Because he's touching them, kind of got maybe a gleam in his eye or something like that.
Yes,
or
I
he's
would-
hanging
I would-
on them too long. He's
But then I thought
he's saying words like talking about sex or doing it or fucking or getting head or oh that feels good in the crotch, stuff like that with your kids.
Something like that, yes.
And your kids are on his lap, so he's touching them.
I don't remember the exact words, because it was a while ago.
But they were sexual comments.
When? You said a while ago. When? Right after he got out?
Right after he got out.
Yeah.
He said he's been out for 2 years.
But that's, and then my oldest daughter, she kind of fell for him.
Marie?
And then I couldn't do nothing with her because she was 17, to say. And if she said, well, Dad, can I go to the store in town or something? Then I found out the next day that he was in town at the same fucking store,
How'd you feel?
I couldn't.
How'd you feel about that?
Huh?
How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, he's gonna wring somebody's neck.
Did you?
Huh?
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Did you go over and talk to Steve about it, kind of man to man, and kind of say, hey, listen up, buddy. I got a daughter.
I tried.
And say, you come around.
And then, I was thinking about his daughters too, that his daughters are coming up by him and that. And I was thinking about the same thing, What is he doing with his daughters? Just because they're older, it doesn't make a difference. It's still his daughters.
Is she still seeing him?
Huh?
Your daughter, is she still seeing him?
No. She
Why did that
I
happen?
don't know why. She came instead, like on Thursday mornings, he'll come over and pick me up for the auction. He'll come in the house. She can't even see him, stands looking at him. Don't even want him in my house.
Do you think that he sexually assaulted any of your daughters?
I don't think it went that far. I think we caught it, me and my wife, we caught it before that happened.
Did you ever talk with Marie about that?
Yeah.
Did you ask her specifically if she had sex
Yep.
intercourse with
Yes.
Stephen?
Yes.
What did she say?
She said no.
What about Brittany or Kayla?
Huh?
What about Brittany or Kayla?
We always watched them close. Ever since it happened with Marie with them, then we watched them close.
Did they ever discuss Stephen offering them money or favors in exchange for sex?
I don't think so. Not that they told me anyway.
Did Marie talk openly with you, or was she a little ashamed talking with you present?
Yeah.
But did she?
Huh?
Did she?
Yeah, she talked to me. She talked to me.
What was the worst thing that she said Stephen had done to her?
Huh?
What was the worst thing that Stephen had done to her?
I don't know. I don't know what.
Touched her in the crotch?
Yeah, she
Did he
said something about
penetrate her vagina with his fingers at all? Or
I
did he
don't
touch
know
her
that.
breasts? Did he?
Grabbed her in the crotch, I know that.
With the clothes or put his hand on her pants?
With clothes, because we got a picture of it, with him throwing her onto a bed, and he had her right by the crotch with his hand.
What happened to that picture?
Who took the picture?
My wife burned them.
Who took the picture?
I don't know.
No, who took the picture with the camera?
Oh, Bob.
Bobby did that? And you indicated that her daughter Marie, in her own way, fell romantically in love.
She's young,
Yeah, impressionable. She fell in love with Stephen
Yeah.
when he got out.
Well, I finally caught on to it because she would talk behind my back on her cell phone to him, and I would check her cell phone, and his number was on it this time and that time.
What did Candy think of this?
She don't like Steve.
Did Candy ever verbally yell at Stephen for stuff that he
All
wasn't?
the time, to this day.
What did Stephen do?
He just ignores her.
You think there was anything there between Candy and Steve? Like Steve has ever tried anything?
Did you meet my wife?
I have not
Don't
tried.
get her mad.
But you know what I'm saying? Has she ever told you something like she's mad at him because just something has occurred? And she's like,
She's mad at him just because he's him.
I guess
Just the way he
what I'm
talks.
saying is she mad at him because he tried to do something?
With her?
Right.
I don't know. No.
She hasn't told you anything like that?
No.
That's the reason she's pissed was... Would she tell you something like that, or would she be afraid of what
No,
you
she would tell me.
She would?
She would tell me, but she wouldn't let that happen.
I'm not saying she would. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying she would let that happen. I'm saying that
No.
Steve, you know what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah.
Steve just kind of trying to force himself on something.
But
You talked about there was fear for his own daughters, that there might be some suspicion there. And then there was obviously this kind of...
Well, that's because when he first got out, his two daughters were always down by him and everything, you know. And then there was a point there that we weren't getting along or nothing. There was a stretch there that I want her monitor. That's when this was going on with Marie. And I
I'm very
couldn't get her
interested,
monitor
Earl.
at all.
When you became aware that Bobby was taking this picture and that this stuff was going on, you decided to have... You had to have been enraged.
I was ready to ring some neck.
I guess I'm curious to know how you talked to your daughter. How did Candy
We
and you, how did you go about talking with her? And I'm interested in what did you say to her? Did you explain whether it was wrong, or did you explain what was going on?
Yeah.
I'm interested. What did you tell her? What
We
did you
told her
say?
that it was wrong.
What did you say to her?
Well, my wife kind of, said, he's this many years older than you, he's no good for you, you're too young. On and on and on like that.
Are you 100% certain that he did not have intercourse with your daughter? Is it possible that he did?
You're shaking your head no, so...
I don't know. I don't know. To this day, she says she's still a virgin, my daughter, so I don't know.
How about Brittany or Kayla?
No.
Did you ever witness any of this type of similar behavior with Brittany or Kayla?
No.
By Stephen?
No. We did. After Marie, that was enough. We always watched our kids. We didn't leave our kids spend the night by nobody close to them or whatever, even by bars. We kept her away from bars doing that because they were living right next door to each
Did
other.
you talk to Chuck about what happened?
No.
Why not?
I never talked
Or
to
kind
Chuck.
of, was it, I mean, it's a sensitive, embarrassing.
But I never talked to Chuck. Chuck
Okay.
was always a distant brother from me. Steve was always closer to me.
But you're in business with Chuck.
I don't.
But you never talk to him?
No.
How do you run a business when you don't talk to each other?
Talk business stuff, but not
Not personal?
personal stuff. We don't talk. And it's been like that all my life.
Did you ever explain the birds and bees to Mary? Did you ever have that talk with her?
Way a long time ago, yeah.
Candy and you both do it, or just?
Yeah.
And your other daughters as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's over the dam.
Okay. Now,
But I don't know what to.
I'm having a difficult time thinking that you didn't confront your brother,
About what?
Stephen, about what he did.
I mostly just confronted him in rage.
How would you have done that? If I'm Stephen, portrayed him, what you would have
I never got face to face with him.
never got face to face?
No. A car to car.
Car to car. What did you do?
We don't want to go there.
Well, yeah, we do. What did you do?
Huh?
How did
I was coming down the same road as him and I just
You ran him off the road?
cut him off.
Cut him off?
Yeah.
Where did this happen at?
Right in front of that fence there. Where I
Going into the junkyard?
going down to his house.
Oh, going down to his.
Yeah.
So you ran him into the field where the open field is?
No, just off the road a little bit.
Just off the road?
Didn't hit him or nothing, he just got panicky, chicken out.
What is this big F-350 black pickup?
No, this was before that. He had something else before that. I don't even know.
And he just kept driving after
Huh?
you ran him
You
off
got
the
out of
road?
the car then, and
Huh?
you got out of the car and had words with him
No.
after you ran him off? There's a small lane there, where are you gonna go?
He kept going. He was scared. He was scared of me. So I was raged up.
Did you ever contemplate going back there and talking with him about it? Hitting him? Beating him up?
I don't know, what can you do?
At no point did you had no words with him ever about this?
I even had a detective involved in that. Or a cop. I even called the cops.
Okay.
And they told me that they couldn't do nothing because she was 18 or
Okay.
close to
Okay.
18. She was 17.
Okay. Okay,
But that was the end of it then.
Okay.
After I had the cop go over there and talk to him about it.
knowing what you know now about what he did to your daughter, how feasible do you think it is that he is primarily responsible for Teresa Halbach's disappearance?
Well, that's what I was talking to you about before. I don't know. You know that was my first thing that
You have
came to
to-
my head. It was my first thing when I went down into the pit with my four-wheeler. What's going on? Somebody found something. And then right away Steve.
When the
popped-
searchers were down there,
Right away Steve popped into my head. That,
he had a relapse.
huh?
That he had a relapse, correct?
That I had a relapse, I think, because of my daughter and everything.
Do you think that
I don't know.
he would have tried to have some sexual contact with Teresa?
My wife is going to be worried. She'll be fine.
Well, we explained it to her, you know what I mean, you're going home.
No matter what, you're going home tonight, okay? We're clear there?
You gotta understand that, we're looking for your help.
I don't know if I helped these guys or not.
Well, you're getting there.
I think it's hard for you to talk about some of that stuff. I would not want to talk about some of
Well, I
that
just
stuff.
talked about it, and
But these are just questions about what you think, what you've heard, what you know. And some of that is, have you heard anything, like he's talked, or his girlfriend has said something
what I don't understand.
about Teresa coming by, or has he tried this in the past with another girl that we don't know about, besides your daughter and his daughters? Has there been other girls that have kind of been lucky to get out of there?
Not that I know of, no. Not that I know of.
See what's going on here. what's going on here, Earl, is there's a clear pattern of behavior. There's a clear pattern of sexual deviancy. There's a clear pattern of a man that can't control his sexual urges, desires, and it's a power thing. And not only that, it's a sociological flaw that's going on here, where somehow, some way, Stephen believes that what he's doing is proper, and it's okay. But what's going on
How
here,
could you?
you, thinking clearly, understand that grabbing a 17-year-old girl that's your niece in the crotch area, even with her clothes on, is very, very wrong. Very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But
Even
your
if she was
brother,
20, it would be.
it's
Right.
wrong,
It's
period.
wrong no matter what.
It's wrong. Plain and simple. Your brother, Stephen, is not coming home tonight. I can't stress that enough. You don't need to be worried about him showing up at your home tonight, or tomorrow, or the day after. Okay? And there's a reason why.
But then there's got to be a reason why.
Exactly.
But like I just told you.
Knowing that we've told you that there's a reason why, we need to know, this is very important, because right now, this conversation we're having is the opportunity you have to tell it all. If we find out information from Stephen after tonight, or from Chuck after tonight, or from other, at this time, unknown persons after tonight, and we need to come back and talk to you again, it's going to be an entirely different scenario. You're not going to be walking out of the house, you're going to be getting carried out. And you're
Probably.
being handcuffed. Because you got to understand, today we were very low key today.
Yeah.
We wanted to treat you as professional as we could, because that's what's proper in a situation like this.
Yeah.
You're a witness that we want to
But
provide us information.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my wife. This is my life. That business is all I got.
Then you should not be crushing cars illegally. You should not be burning tires illegally. If it's your way of life, the bottom line is you own 50% of that business. And people are burning tires out there illegally, which means that you're very, very likely in a situation where you could potentially end up having your property seized and forfeited.
But the tires, if Steve was burning tires, that ain't our property. That's Rolling Johnson's property.
It is. I understand where you're going with that. But it's going on elsewhere too, on your property. Cars being crushed, things not being documented properly.
Well,
We can go on and on. We can go out there and go through your books right now if you like, and do an audit, and make sure that taxes and everything are being paid the way they're supposed to be, and that payroll is being handled the way it's supposed to be, and let's not forget cash. You see where I'm going here?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
So let's cut past.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
See,
that's,
your whole life,
I mean,
you personally, your whole life could go on a turn of a dime if they were to start looking through all this stuff, and they shut you down.
yeah.
And they shut you down and you're off. Now what are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
I'd have to work a factory or something. Because that's the only thing I know. I've been doing it all my life. I was driving that big old record.
Plain and simple. You know, I'm going to ask you a series of questions here, and all I want to hear out of you is a yes or a no. Okay?
Okay,
You understand that?
yes.
Do you think your brother Stephen is the sexual deviant? Yes or no?
Compared to what he did with my daughter, yes.
Do you think your brother's...
Whoa, back up. What is David in?
It's an individual that is into unusual and sometimes abusive and inappropriate
Yes.
types of sexual behavior outside the norm. What would be considered unnormal?
I used to stay with him when he was here 18 years ago. When he used to beat on his wife, throw her against the wall.
So, do you believe that your brother Stephen has knowledge of why Teresa Halbach disappeared? Yes or no?
How am I supposed to answer that?
Yes or no?
I don't know that question.
What you believe, he's saying, do you believe?
What do you
He
believe?
has some knowledge about it.
Do you believe that your brother Stephen has
If he was,
direct knowledge of why she disappeared?
if he was the last one to see her,
No. Yes or no? Do you or don't you?
if he was the last one to see her, yes, I guess. I don't know how to answer that one.
Do you think it's proper for your brother Stephen to have committed a heinous crime against this young woman, Teresa Halbach,
No,
and then try to blame it on one of your nephews?
no.
Do you think that's not right?
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
That would be wrong, yes. I don't know what else to tell you guys.
Did your brother Stephen at any time after Halloween night, Monday, October 31st of 2005, at any time hint to you, wink to you, suggest to you, whisper in your ear, or indicate that he had done something bad to Teresa Halbach?
No, Daddy didn't.
Do you believe he talked about anything like that with your other brother Chuck?
I would have to answer no because I don't know.
Do you think your brother Chuck is capable of having been involved with the disappearance of Teresa Halbach as well? With your brother Stephen?
It could be, yes. I don't know.
If your brother Chuck had direct knowledge of what Stephen did, would he try to help Stephen and remain silent and lie to law enforcement to help cover it up? Yes or no?
I would have to say yes because he gets along with him better than I get along with him. I don't know.
Stephen had given you some information about this. Would you lie to law?
No, I would not. I would tell you. I just don't have no reason to lie to you. I know he's my brother. He's my brother that never think right or anything.
And you hit the nail right on the head. We don't think you're a bad person. We don't. We think your brother's a bad person.
Well, if you think I'm a bad person.
No, no. If I did, I'd tell you.
No.
But
If I did, I'd tell you. But I don't think you're a bad person.
I try to.
I think you're being very helpful and cooperative to us right now.
Well, that's what I thought when I was, letting these people in the yard and let them walk around and everything.
And
And then it blows up in my face.
no, nothing's blowing up in your face.
It did. 3.5 hours I sat down there. You know where she is. You know something about it. It wasn't meant for her. You know what I mean?
But you got to understand where they're coming from, Earl. You were a
But
co-owner
that
of the
wasn't
junk.
those guys. That was a Manitowoc County.
Well, that isn't us.
Well, like we said, we are not Manitowoc County. We don't
Not
work for
us.
Manitowoc County.
You got to understand that you are a co-owner of that junkyard. The vehicle is found there. Other evidence has been found there.
Then my career
Stephen-
went down the drain.
No, your career did not just go down the drain. Your career is at a crossroads, and it's contingent on you being honest and truthful and forthright with us and telling us the things that you've been holding back on. You told me that earlier, but yet we had to drag out this information about how he's behaved with your daughter. There's a lot of detailed, hideous information like that you have stored up here. Okay? You and I both know that. All right? Nothing is going to happen as far as your business crashing down on you or anything else unless you lie to us. If you withhold information, obstruct this investigation, and mislead us, we're going to do everything in our
It's going to come out.
We're going to do everything in our power to make that known.
It's going to come out.
Did I
First of all.
do it yet? I mean, did I?
You're being very cooperative with us, but you're doing it in a difficult way. You're forcing us to ask a lot more questions than we should have to ask.
Right.
I know,
That's why we're here.
6 o'clock.
That's why we're here right now.
But we're still here. You know?
Has he ever forced his way on your wife?
No, not that I know.
If he did, would you tell us?
Yes, I would.
Has your brother Chuck ever done something like that?
What?
Forced himself on your wife when you weren't around?
Yes, he has.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
What kind of brother does something like that?
I don't know.
What did you do when that happened? Were you there?
Hmm?
Were you there or were you gone?
I was gone for about 10 minutes.
You're gone for 10 minutes. Excuse me.
Oh, hi.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm just gonna come in and steal some snacks if you guys.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean. There's anyone in here.
No, that's fine.
That's fine.
A Starbucks.
Sorry to be an inconvenience.
I'm sorry for interrupting. You guys were probably playing cards or something.
No. It'd be nice if we were. Thank you.
Thanks.
Some guys would be owing me some money.
I'll put a sign on the door next time. But these detailed tidbits of information are the things that we need to know, because they are the little pieces of the puzzle that are going to have to come together for us.
But
Your brother doing this sort of thing, I find that very, if that were me, I think, and I were in your shoes, I don't know what I'd do. I think the anger would be immense. What did you do?
What?
Your brother Chuck, when he forced himself on your wife. When he forced himself on your wife and, you know,
Put his head
you're...
through his back window of his house.
He did.
And
You
threw
throw
him
him
off
or-
the deck.
Then what?
And I walked away.
Did he run?
No, he laid there.
Okay.
I looked at him and I looked away and I walked away. I didn't give a shit if he was hurt or anything. But he wasn't hurt because he's still here. But,
Why are your brothers treating you like this?
but that was a long time ago.
Do you think they're taking advantage of you because you're the nice one in the family?
I don't know. But
Do you think it's possible, Earl, do you think it's possible that bad people do bad things?
Well, I guess so,
Do
yeah.
you think your brother Stephen is a bad person?
Huh?
Do you think your brother Stephen is a bad person?
Well, that's the thing. He can be a good person, and then it could be a bad person.
Do you think
Depends on the day.
do you think he's the bad person type that is capable of unspeakable acts of hurtfulness and violence against other people?
What I seen with his ex-wife, yes.
Does he have a problem with women?
I think he's got a problem with power and control.
Does he feel like he has to be the dominant person when he's near women?
Yeah. And I think it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Does he always have to direct the conversation when he's around women towards sex or sexual innuendo? Or can he carry on a conversation with a woman that's not related to sex?
Sometimes. Sometimes, I guess.
Do you think he's been abusive towards his girlfriend Jody that's in jail right now?
Yeah, I've seen 1 or 2 times already, yeah.
1 or 2 times what? What did he do?
Grabbing her by the hair, throwing her down to the ground, kicking her.
Why did he do that?
She was drunk and she couldn't walk.
And he was mad because of that?
And he wanted to go home.
Where did this occur?
Up north. Right in front of my cabin. Up north.
In Crivets?
Yes.
When did that happen?
When he first met, I think, around then. I don't know how long they've been going on.
This year?
Huh?
This year?
I can't remember if it was this year or not.
So when they first met, was about the time it happened?
Yeah. Because she came back, they came back the next day, they went home or by Roland Johnson's house there. And they, I don't know, she drank a little bit more or something, and then they got into it again. And then she called the cops, or the cops pulled him over. And then he went down to the jail for questioning on it.
Okay.
You know.
Have you been in Stephen's residence since he got out of prison? Since he moved into Rollie Johnson's place? Or even when he had his little ice shanty or his trailer?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen pornographic material on there? Does he keep photos of young children or nude women?
No, not that I know
Are
of. I
you?
mean, I was always, well, in the house there, I was always in the kitchen. When he first got out, we had a party down there. Maybe 3 times we had like a fry out or something down there. But we were always in the kitchen and the living room, and it was
You never
mostly
saw
always
anything,
clean.
you know, it was always clean?
It was always clean.
Never saw anything inappropriate lying around?
No,
Sex toys?
it was
or-
nice. It
Yeah.
was, no, I was surprised.
Did he ever talk about with you communicating on the computer in chat rooms or sending email to other people
No,
over the internet?
I didn't think he was that.
Is he that computer savvy? Is he capable of doing those sorts of things?
That's what I mean, I don't think he is.
He's not that smart?
No, he's kind of slow like me, you know.
He looks slow.
A little slower than me, I guess he is. But
If your brother did do something hurtful, violent, and harmful to Teresa Halbach, do you think he would ever admit to it and tell the truth?
no, probably not.
Why not?
Because he's just that way.
What's that way? What does that mean?
Keeps it to himself. Keeps to himself.
What does that mean to you?
Well, it was just like the night when I told you about they came home the next day and then they got in an argument or whatever, and then the cops took him.
Right.
He didn't even talk about it. It was all her fault.
He blamed it all on her?
Yeah.
She did something that caused him to have to grab her by the hair and throw her down?
Drank a glass of vodka.
Okay. So he felt that he was
I gave him the reason.
doing what he felt was right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Which I didn't agree on, but I just walked away.
was your father that way when you were growing up?
What do you mean?
Was your father the disciplinarian type where he would, if you did something wrong, grab you, throw you down, hit you? Or was he just the type that would yell at you? Or would he spank you?
He would holler. He always hollers. He still hollers.
Okay.
You know, he's always got to raise his voice.
This next question I'm going to ask you is a difficult question. If you don't want to answer it, you don't have to, okay? Some of these things we're talking about are very sensitive and they're uneasy to talk about. But was your father ever sexually inappropriate or abusive with you or any of your brothers or your sister?
No, not that I know. I know he sometimes drank a lot, threw things around the house when he'd come home from the tavern or something, but he had a violent temper. But no, I've never seen nothing like that.
Okay.
But you gotta remember, this guy he spent 18 years in prison already too, and that ain't no easy ride either. You might say that's
There's a reason why it's not an easy ride.
right. But
That's
I mean,
where bad people go that have done
Right.
bad things.
right, and they still do bad things when they're in there.
Well, that's neither here nor there. That's not why we're here right now.
Right. Right.
Anything else before we conclude here? Is there anything else that you can share with us about your brother Stephen as it relates to Teresa Halbach? About what you might know that might help us determine exactly what happened to her?
Whatever. See, that the time frame in there was difficult for me because I wasn't really around them that much before, you know, when it happened and from the last time we went to the Hoxton.
I have one final
'Cause
question.
I was out of town that whole weekend.
I have one final question of you, and then I'll open up the questions here. Your brother Stephen's property is detached garage and the area behind his home, mainly the area back where his dog is. Does he ever burn things or have a fire pit back there? Does he ever bury things back there? Does he ever use that area for anything?
I can tell you this much. In the mornings and that, sometimes he brings up some rims, burnt rims,
Right.
and puts them on a pile, puts them on our iron pile where our rims go. I can tell you that much. But for burning at night, I'm never usually there. And if I'm there, I'm by my mom for a little while, and then we leave, you know.
If he has a burn barrel in his front yard, on the
So
other side of
sometimes
the
I see
road.
it smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What reason would he have to burn stuff in his backyard behind his garage if he has a burn barrel in the front yard?
I don't know. He was lately talking
That's as important. What reason would he have? Do you know?
or brushing that, I guess. And that's what he was talking about recently, is that the line fence behind his trailer, that he told Jocks or Doctor or whatever that he would take that all down or whatever and get rid of the mess. And he was talking about burning it all by him. I know that much. I don't know if that's got anything to do with anything. I don't know if he burned some already from over there, because there is 2 piles in the field the last time I seen it, and there was some wood cut there. I don't know if he was working in there or not.
I don't have any other questions right now. You're any other questions?
You said you took a golf cart out on Tuesday or Wednesday of that week.
But I asked my mother about it the second time, and she said that she was pretty sure it was Wednesday night.
Okay.
I never talked to Bob, and Bob never called me ever since this ever happened, you know.
Was there a 5-gallon pail in that golf cart? Or was there any buckets in that golf cart?
I can't answer that. I don't know, because we walked up and their garage door was open and the keys were in the golf cart, and I told Bob, I said, instead of walking, let's take that. And my mom was in the kind of like in our new office, and we just got out of it, backed up, and, you know, took off.
Okay.
Like we were screwing around stealing it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really pay attention to what we had in the back.
Is there stuff in there generally in the back?
Well, my
Is it
mom
stuff?
usually, yeah, for
You can make a phone call.
yeah. So my mom usually goes, she sometimes picks stuff up, put it in the yard, or she weeds her garden, so with a pail and she's
Alright. So there's usually a pail with it or something?
yeah.
Yeah. Is it a 5-gallon pail?
There's a 5-gallon pail, or,
Is it a white 5-gallon pail?
yeah. She's got a ice cream pail too that she uses a lot too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else about that time? I mean, you're driving on Wednesday, you checked with your mom, you know, on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You went down into the yard, basically. Did you see anything in the yard that seemed peculiar?
Oh. And, you know, and the thing was, Wednesday night, we pulled, you know where Steve's burning barrel is, right? When we got down from in the bottom and everything, we drove around slow and seen if we see any rabbits hopping around. We didn't see nothing. So then we went up and I said to Bob, I said, let's check that. See, when I told you I seen that, them 2 brush piles on the other side of Stephen, I said, well, why don't we take a ride down there and check them brush piles? Okay. But then it was getting really, you know, darker. We pulled up to Steve's burning barrel there, and we were going to drive around. He was outside. Steve was outside. He was standing there. looking at his snowmobile. I don't know what he was doing. He was standing there by himself.
Just looking at his snowmobile.
Yeah, and then my brother threw a smart comment at him, you know, because he's got a Skidoo and my brother's got a Polaris. My brother-in-law's got a Polaris. Then he come over by him and he talked to Bob and gave him a little shit. But that was it. Then we went down, you know, and checked the brush piles and then we went back through. That's the only ride that this consists of, you know what I mean? But anything out of the ordinary, no, I didn't. That's what I don't understand. Then all of a sudden Saturday, this thing appears. Well, how was that there when I was just through there Wednesday? She's missing Monday. It don't make any sense. Somebody put it there. It wasn't there, and I'm not losing my mind. You know, it was parked right in the middle of the road. You know.
Let's go outside and let's see if there's somebody here that can give you a ride, or we can. You got a cell phone on you? We can call. We'll call Candy. Maybe she can pick you up here.